everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Megan, the owner and maker over here at Fine Designs by Megan. So if you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do, because you're not going to want to miss the next 12 days. So the next 12 days, I'm going to be kicking off my 12 Days of Christmas Tumbler Tutorial Edition. So that means for the next 12 days, every day, I will be posting a new tutorial. And the first one up is this gorgeous, super cute, you know him, my favorite tumbler tutorial. And I have teamed up with my best friend, my favorite creator, the best glitter supplier, Trina from Diamonds and Dust, and she has graciously allowed me to launch 4 of her new templates that she has created that she has not released yet. And the first one up is going to be icing, which is this awesome wave one with your center area. So that will all be linked down in the description box with everything else that I'm using today. So another thing is, during my tutorial, I'm going to be kind of dropping a little bit of jokes or asking questions. So make sure when I do, you write it down, because the last day, which we're going to actually make it the 13th day, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And there's going to be a chance to win glitter, to epoxy, to foils, to vinyl, to gift cards. You're not going to want to miss it. So on the 11th or 12th day, I will post the Google Forms where you will go on and answer all the questions, and then you'll be entered into the giveaway. So keep your eyes out. You're not going to want to miss it. I promise it's going to be so fun. So that's enough talking for me, and let's go ahead and get started. First off, I cut my template onto my vinyl. I am going to be using a Steel Magnolia 24-ounce Plump, and her templates are designed for Steel Magnolia Plump cups. She has 3 different size options, and then I'm going to get this clear transfer tape and squeegee it down. And I will link down in the description box other sizings for the stainless steel straight cups from like Steel Depot and Maker Flow. I will link those different size options down in the description box so you can do your own template sizing. And then I'm going to grab my awesome tool over from Cami Page Boutique, and this is the Ultimate Tool Guide, and I'm going to make my line on my cup with that tool, so when I go to place my vinyl, I'll have it perfectly straight, because you're going to want to make sure your vinyl lines up perfectly straight. This is a must, okay? So your wave areas will line up perfect and they won't be crooked. So make sure you get it. If you do not have the Ultimate Tool Guide or something to make lines on your cups, try to get one, and it will save you a headache in the long run. I promise you guys that. It has saved me so much yelling and frustration. I promise you that. So anyways, once I get it lined up perfectly, I'm just going to pull my cup, and it's easy to apply it once it has the transfer tape on there. It makes it thicker so you don't get a whole lot of bubbles. And then I just kind of rub it down as I go, pull on it, and then I'm going to keep that little gap lifted so I can pull all my transfer tape off the other area. Now, when you start pulling your transfer tape, make sure you hold onto your vinyl a little bit, especially where your cut lines are, so it doesn't pull up your vinyl. If it does, just smooth it right back out and just act like it never happened, okay? Just kidding. Anywho, once you're done with that, go ahead and flatten out your vinyl completely. Make sure your lines meet up, and then just start pulling off your transfer tape, and you'll be good from there. Once you get that done, just smooth over your vinyl onto your butt area and over the top, and then just trim that up. I do trim my top up with my X-Acto knife, and then I'm going to trim up my bottom with the trimming tool from Cami Page Boutique. If you want to trim up your top and have a little bit of a gap, you can also do it with that tool. I prefer not to have too much of a gap, so I just do it with my X-Acto knife. And then you're going to want to go over, make sure it's all smooth and there's no air bubbles, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now I'm going to remove up the thinner wave area. That's where we're going to be glittering and painting. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that middle area so when I go to paint, it'll have a little bit of protection onto the white area, because we want to keep that white area as crisp as possible. So then just remove that. And then once you have that section removed, you're going to grab Poppy, the 3-in-1 Color Flicks paint from Artistry. And Red Glare is the glitter I'm going to be using from Diamond and Dust. And I'm just going to carefully and slowly paint my white area I just paint a little bit of a section and then I'm going to glitter it. Once you have this glittered, you are going to pull off your middle tape as soon as possible, so that way it doesn't pull up your glitter or your paint. So you're going to want to pull up that tape while your glitter and paint is still a little wet. And then you're going to set your tumbler to the side. I'm going to let mine dry for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to seal it with triple thick spray before I move on to actually glittering the middle area. Now make sure after you have it glittered and before you go to seal spray it, you knock off all excess glitter so it doesn't get stuck to your vinyl. Okay, so once you have that done and it's sealed, go ahead and pull up that middle area, and then we're going to start working on that area. I do remove that line that I had made so it doesn't show through my white glitter. And then I'm going to be using Abdominal from Diamond and Dust. It is like a pearl white glitter. I absolutely love it, and it's super sparkly. It's just gorgeous. So we're going to be using that for my middle area, and I'm going to apply it with glitter glue from Artistry. If you do not have that glitter glue, you really got to get some. It is probably one of my absolute favorite products, and I use it every day on almost every single one of my cups. It's like super glue glitter and so much better than Mod Podge, okay? I probably said that wrong, but don't come judging me, okay? Anywho, go ahead and apply that. Once you get your glitter applied, you're going to let it dry for about 15-30 minutes, and then you're going to seal it 2 times with triple thick spray before we move on to our bottom area. I did go ahead and I actually epoxied my cup 1 layer of epoxy. You do not have to do that. I did because when I did my glitter bottom, I wanted to have a little bit of protection. So once I did that, I went ahead and I did a tape line around the vinyl on the bottom, and I am going to pop off the bottom. This is why I love stainless steel cups from Steel Magnolia, because you can do little glitter butts, okay? And I love glitter butts. And I am just going to seal this off, and then I actually sanded a little bit inside my center and I cleaned it out with alcohol before I started painting it. So make sure you do all of that, and then you're just going to paint your bottom the color of the glitter that you want to do. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't even have to do this part. I just do just to make sure that my glitter is a little bit brighter. And then after I get those 2 sections done, I'm going to glitter my outside, and then I'm going to, after that is all dry, I'm going to apply glitter glue to my outside, and I'm going to glitter it with red glare. And I like to glitter my outside sections first, because when I go to do my epoxy for my glitter butts, it's going to seal up the edge of my glitter, and you won't be able to see that there was even a glitter line there. So I hope that makes sense. Just watch and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to remove my tape while my paint is still wet, and then I'm going to grab my Artistry Fast Set Epoxy. I'm going to mix up, I ended up mixing 25 mLs because I wanted to be safe and I didn't want to run out. So once I have it mixed up and it's ready to go, I'm going to portion out my cups in my little medicine cups. So I'll have red glitter in one and then my green glitter in another. So I'm going to be using my red glare, and then I'm going to use What the Elf. It's seriously one of my favorite greens. It's like a dark green with a little bit of lime green mix. It's perfect for, you know, the grouchy guy. So that's what I'm going to use. And then I'm going to get my epoxy and I'm going to start pouring it into my sections for my glitter butt. And I'm going to pour my red first, make sure it's filled up. And then I'm going to go very, very, very slowly around the edge with my green. Be careful. I actually did mess up a couple times and I just cleaned it all out. And yeah, so be careful when you're doing that because it's seriously so easy to mess up. once you get done adding your green, you're going to grab your little hand torch and you're going to pop all your bubbles, and then you're going to let your cup sit for about 2 hours before you seal that glitter that's loose, and then you're going to epoxy it twice before you move on to your next step. So on my next step for my lines, I just cut me a bunch of different line sizes on some green and red glitter vinyl that I got from Michael's. I like this because it's flexible and it doesn't cause any creases or bumps or anything like that. Sometimes when you do like the chrome, it's hard to apply it. Anyways, I'm going to just apply my vinyl or across or along that red edge, and I'm going to do it slowly and just kind of press with my finger as I'm applying it so it doesn't have any creases or bumps or anything like that. And I'm just going to apply it onto my cup along that edge. Now, once you get done with your green top line, you're going to apply a smaller, thinner line in between in the middle of your red. You do not have to do this. You can do it however you want to do it, if you want to have lines on the outside or whatever. This is just what I thought would be cute and what I did, but you can totally skip this part, and that's just what I did. So I have the top line and the bottom line are going to be the same size, and then the smaller line in the middle is going to be a thinner line. Anyways, I'm going to apply it on the bottom just like that, and I'm going to also apply it onto the top red line, and then I'm going to apply one on the bottom, but when we get to that, I'll talk about that. Since this is a boring part and you're probably going to get bored watching me just lay on vinyl, let's do our joke for the day. So, what reindeer game do reindeers play at sleepovers? Can anyone guess? All right, answer will be told on the 12th day. Write down that answer because you're not going to want to miss the giveaway. Okay, I'm sorry that was all boring, but anyways, on to the next step. I'm just going to grab this thicker vinyl and I'm going to apply it on the bottom edge, and then I'm going to grab a piece of red. It's actually the same size as that first top green size, and I'm just going to apply it in the middle, and I just want to kind of break it up. I like to have different layers and different patterns and all of that. So once you do that, I'm going to actually seal this with Quick Seal from Artistry Epoxy to make sure my vinyl doesn't lift during epoxying. And then we're going to move on to our water slide. Now, I did find this water slide on Etsy. I will link it down in the description box so you can find it. It's super cute and it's just so fitting. And I always print my water slides upside down. This is Haze paper, Haze clear water slide. It's my favorite that I have found so far. And I place it upside down and I just pull and it releases perfectly. And I do let it sit in the water for about a minute before I do apply it so it's nice and ready to come off. And then I'm going to grab my little squeegee tool and I'm going to squeegee all the water out that could be under it, make sure there's no bubbles, anything like that. And then I will dry up my cup with a paper towel just to make sure there's no water on my cup before I go on to my next step, which will be applying my epoxy. Okay, before we go epoxy, one more step. I always apply a circle piece of the vinyl to the bottom of my cups as a little extra bonus. I don't do it all the time, but I try to do it on most of my cups if I'm using vinyl. And this is just a scrap piece of vinyl that I had left over. And I like this little image, so I'm going to put it in there upside down. It's a 2.5 millimeter hole punch. You can cut it with your machine. I just think this is so much easier. And then I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to make sure that it's sanded on the bottom, there's no bumps, and I'm going to apply this little piece of vinyl perfectly to the bottom of my cup. You do not have to do this. You can leave your glitter butt just how it is. I just thought this was cute, and I went ahead and added it. So I'm going to add that onto the bottom, and after that, we're going to move on to epoxying. Now to finish it on up, I'm going to be using Artistry's Fast Set, and I did mix up 20 mLs of epoxy. Because of my vinyl lines, I want it to be perfectly covered, and I'm just going to apply it onto my tumbler, and then I will wait about 2 to 3 hours before I touch it and take it off the turner. You can use Artistry Fast Set as a top coat. I absolutely love this epoxy. It gives the prettiest shine, smoothest coat, and hardly any air bubbles. So that's just my preferred epoxy. Once you get your epoxy applied onto your cup, just pop your bubbles with your air torch, and you're going to be good to go, and it'll be done in about 2 to 3 hours. If you liked my video, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, just ask them down in the comments section, and all the materials that I used today, or most of them, will be in the description box. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, y'all.